I've preferred a federal action, a suit against sitting Congressman Mike Thompson. Mike Thompson should be impeached for his conduct and potentially held criminally accountable by the agencies for which he seems to be incessantly targeting in the nation's capital. He has consistently sought to press his bill and impeach others while he and his team were actively, willfully, and intentionally targeting a former DHS asset who operated against the very groups that America is trying to stand on business with. And Congressman Mike Thompson has been levying his voice, his power up in D.C. to laterally attack while at the same time working in tandem with the county of Napa when he had a duty that should have been performed, and he willfully, intentionally deviated from that and has committed fraud and perjury to try to conceal his actions. I've preferred a lawsuit against the congressman and his chief of staff and the other direct reports. I had the video evidence to support my claims as well as the written evidence to show that they 100% deviated and committed fraud and perjury as a means to try to conceal their part in the scheme that's going on in the county of Napa. The county of Napa employs various women who are tethered to men that are part of these groups, both cartel and organized crime groups that work with the cartel that operate within America and within Mexico. They have worked their way up through the nonprofit Napa Empowering Women Services over into county positions. And when they were tasked with certain duties, reaching out to the United States Department of Justice, they too played their part in this scheme, to include the district attorney of Napa County and the judges involved. That's Robert Stamps, Mark Bosnecker, Elliot Ortiz, Joseph Soga, Scott Young, Tisher. I hate to say Price, but they all knew. They all knew that there was no jurisdiction, that this was manufactured. They willfully, intentionally tried to manufacture a crime to try to snatch me back from Washington, D.C. when I went to the DOJ in D.C. to report on exactly what they were doing. It's a federal crime to target somebody who's relaying intel to the United States Department of Justice. So now there's federal action in D.C. that's been consolidated that includes the county of Napa, sitting U.S. Congressman Mike Thompson, and otherwise. So now, whatever lies they want to tell, they should do it to the DOJ in Washington, D.C. But they've been trying to force it into Napa County where they have all the control and there's no due process and they control all the mechanisms of the machinery. They don't control those mechanisms in Washington, D.C. And Mike Thompson should not be using his duty to assist in the conduct and the criminal actions that are being discharged in the county of Napa by Napa County employees to cover up their connections to FTOs. If they want to employ people that are directly connected to organized crime and to FTOs, they shouldn't target somebody and place their life in danger and their family in danger to cover up their actions. I'm directly 100% accusing the county of Napa, to include Allison Haley and the rest, of doing exactly that. This is now public. They wanted to make it public when I tried to keep it private for obvious reasons, but they just wanted to drag it out and play the game. So now it's time for them to answer some questions in the United States Capitol.